Dawn over Klong Toi, a suburb of Bangkok, on the wrong side of the tracks. It's one of the worst slums in Asia. Growing up in Klong Toi are two 13-year-old girls, Ning and Puk. Their mother is 600 miles away in the north of Thailand, but she can't afford to feed them. So now they're fending for themselves. At dawn each day, Ning and Puk walk to the bus stop through the stench of rotting garbage. The slum is built over an open sewer. Other children are going to school, but Puk and Ning are heading for a factory where they'll work a 12-hour shift 6 days a week, often 7. The girls make T-shirts. For completing 250 of them a day, they get 60p. After deductions for bus fares and a single bowl of gruel, they each take home 36p.
How long have you been working, Ning?
Long enough. นานกี่เดือนละ
8 เดือน
8 months.
And how old are you?
อายุเท่าไหร่
13
13
How much do you get paid?
จ่ายเขาให้วันเท่าไหร่
20
20 บาท
Is that good or is that bad?
ดีไหม20 บาทเนี่ยไม่ดี no good
Well, why do you work?
ไม่ดีแล้วทำทำไมอ่ะ
มันเป็นต้องทำกินไม่ทำไม่มีกิน
they have to work if they work they have no money for eat
Would you like to go back to school?
แล้วอยากจะกลับไหมล่ะ
ถ้ากลับก็ใครจะเลี้ยงยาย
if you go back the who look for grandmother
If you go back, there will be no one to look after your grandmother.
And yet Ning and Puk are lucky. They can return at night to their home in the slums. In other factories, girls are virtually prisoners, locked in dormitories like this, where 100 sleep shoulder to shoulder on the bare floor. They're allowed out only to work in the factory below. Everything about the way these girls are used is illegal. The firms are breaking every rule in the book, but they know that no one will complain. The young Thai girls can't pronounce the names on the labels they sew into every garment. We can. They're Littlewoods, C&A, Debenhams, Woolworths, and the mail-order firm GUS, Great Universal Stores. Because the leading high street stores have been buying the products of illegal, almost slave labor by children to sell at high profits. Tonight, World in Action investigates how some of Britain's biggest retailers are going from rags to riches. 2 days before Christmas, and another British clothing factory comes under the hammer. It's at Blaby in Leicestershire, and for years they've been making sweaters for Littlewoods. But today, the 400 workers have had their last pay packet.
Why are you losing your jobs? Why is this factory closing down?
Well, we believe it's because of cheap imports.
What has the management told you?
Well, very little, but they say that it's very hard to get orders now.
And for that reason, they're having to close the factory.
Yes, it's just not making a profit.
They're not making a profit. What has the management told you?
All he keeps repeating is commercial suicide.
Britain's clothing industry is in tatters. A third of its jobs have disappeared in the last 8 years, years in which imports from Thailand have increased 100-fold, as our biggest retailers have answered the call of the East. Thailand, the land of 10,000 temples, magnificent yet mysterious, a country that's always hidden its real face from the West. Unlike all the other countries that surround it, Thailand has never been colonized. It remains Siam, unknown, timeless. Then all that changed. The Vietnam War brought tens of thousands of GIs, millions of American dollars. Now it's on the tourist map. The economy is booming, the traffic the worst in the world. Bangkok today is a city where people are in a hurry to catch up. In the process, it's acquired a certain reputation as sex capital of the world. In a city of 8 million people, nearly 500,000 are prostitutes. In Bangkok, everything is for sale. But the price is paid by children. Early each morning at the central railway station, young girls arrive from the north. Their parents can't afford to feed them, so they're sent to Bangkok to find work. They arrive bewildered, frightened, and straight away fall into the hands of so-called employment agents. Minutes later, the children find themselves herded into backstreet dens like these, waiting to be sold to the highest bidder. Many will end up here. It's a tea house, and tea houses aren't for liquid refreshment. Their customers have other tastes. Tea houses are brothels where the girls are put on display behind a glass window. Some are 10 or 11 years old. They're called 1-day, 2-day, 3-day girls, depending on when they lost their virginity. A child on her first day in the brothel commands the highest price. These girls will service up to 10 customers a day.
How many years old are the girls?
About 14, 16, 13 years.
The new girls, how
Yeah.
old are the new girls?
This I think about 14 years old.
102 is 14.
Yeah,
Is there any girl there younger?
Yeah, too many young. You see,
For the girls, the alternative is this, the sweatshop. Behind this ordinary-looking facade is the Fortune Garment Factory, and it's been making clothes for great universal stores for several years. For instance, this three-piece ladies' outfit in acrylic in the GUS catalogue. The Bangkok factory price, £4.75. GUS sell it in England for £19.99. The dawn shift arrive at the Fortune Garment Factory from their dormitory in a nearby alleyway. They work 7 days a week. But today, most of the girls are already inside the factory, having worked all night. 280 girls work here, some bought for £90 a year. The luckier ones get just under £1 a day. The rice they eat is deducted from their wages. Their boss, Mr. Bundit, has no doubts about the sort of workers he wants.
The younger girl is better than the older girl.
Why is that?
Because the young, as what I see, the younger girl is more, let's say, they are willing to move. I didn't know how to say it in English.
They're willing to work very hard.
Yeah, willing to work very hard. And mostly they are willing to do, well, let's say we are working overtime from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
9 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock at night?
Yes.
What, every day of the week?
Every day of the week. And they don't say anything. Well, for those younger girls, they just keep on working and working.
You think the conditions in this factory are good for the workers here?
So far here is not good enough.
What's not good enough here?
Firstly is the dormitory.
What about the dormitory? How would you describe conditions in the dormitory?
It's too crowded. It's too crowded. We can't even get just one new labor, because the dormitory is full.
You can't get one more girl into this factory because there's no room in the dormitory.
Yes.
And in the dormitory, do they sleep feet to feet? Or?
Yeah, they really sleep feet to feet.
Unknown to Mr. Bundit, we went to look for ourselves at the dormitory where 100 girls sleep.
What time do they get up in the morning in the dormitories?
Usually it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, because we have only just two or three bathrooms from the whole dormitory.
So they have to get up early?
Yeah, they have to get up early. Then after they retire from 11 o'clock near midnight, they have to stay taking bath until 1 o'clock after midnight maybe.
Right. And they don't complain about this?
They don't complain about it. That is one of the reasons, because they do not have much
education.
Yeah, much education.
Mr. Bundit frankly admits that he's systematically breaking Thailand's labour laws. Yet, if anything, Fortune is one of the better Bangkok factories making clothes for Britain. To see what the conditions are like in the others, we toured the sweatshops of Bangkok, posing as clothing buyers ourselves. Using a hidden camera and microphone, we investigated factories making clothing for GUS, Littlewoods and other high street stores. Everything we were shown by the factory owners has been seen repeatedly by British buyers or their agents on regular trips in the Far East. This is the entrance to the Bangkok Faizan factory in the suburbs. It's large, it's up to date, and it's busy. Thousands of dozens of T-shirts have gone to Courtholes and Littlewoods. Last year, they shipped 3,000 dozen like this to Debenhams. Factory price in Bangkok, £1.33. Price in the shops in England, £3.99. While the Bangkok Faizan's owner's away on business, his niece, Miss Ming, is in charge.
What sort of thing are you selling to Debenhams?
Debenhams is mostly in children and some in ladies.
Do the buyers from the British firms come out and visit you?
Yeah, twice a year, and every time they come, they will come to visit our factory.
What's a girl like this get per day in your factory?
Minimum rate 80 baht per day.
80 baht a day is the minimum.
Yeah.
And you say they're now working until midnight every night?
Yeah.
80 baht is about £2.50 a day. That's way below the minimum wage in Britain, yet it's somewhat more than Thailand's minimum wage of £2. But was Miss Ming telling the truth? To find out, we resorted to another ruse. Outside the factory gate, there's a woman who sells snacks to the workers. Beside her, on the right, is Suni. She's wearing a blue and white striped blouse. In fact, Suni is working for us and carrying a hidden microphone. At lunchtime, a few of the girls are allowed out to buy snacks for themselves and the others still inside. Suni talked with them, saying she was looking for a job in the factory.
They told me they were very tired because there's a lot of work to do. They sewing all night, all last night.
Are you saying that they worked all night last night?
Yes, they say that they worked all night.
When do they get time to sleep?
They told me that when they very tired, they can maybe sleep on the sewing machine, and maybe if the work finished, they can sleep. No have time, fixed time for resting.
So if they get a chance, they sleep over their sewing machines?
Yeah, maybe in the floor, on the floor, together.
Suni discovered that the unskilled girls earned half of what Miss Ming had claimed, well below the minimum wage. And she discovered something else. We'd asked Miss Ming about the ages of the girls working for her. They seem rather young to us.
How old are the girls that work here?
How old?
How many years old are they?
From 18 years old till maybe 35 or...
18 to 35?
Yeah.
Do you have any girls that are younger
No.
than 18?
Younger than 18, no.
Some of
Maybe
these,
some.
some of these girls look much younger than that to me.
Which one?
Well, there's just a lot of young girls around here. They look younger than 18 to me.
You know, maybe some younger than 18, but not younger than 16 or 17.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So do you have any girls here who are 13 or 14?
No, 13, 14, no.
But the children Suni talked to looked even younger to us, particularly one of them.
Now, you talked to a very young person who looked like a little boy.
Yes.
Was that a boy or a girl?
No, she's a girl.
How old was she?
She says about 12 years old.
12 years old.
Yeah,
Did she work all last night?
yes. Last night.
Did the other girls tell you whether there were other little children in the factory?
Yes, the group of 3 girls told me.
And what did they say?
They said that there's a lot of little girls in the factory.
And what do they do in the factory?
Some of them sewing the button, and some pack, and some clean or wash the clothes.
Conditions inside the Bangkok Firesan factory are in clear breach of the Thai labour laws, which state that girls working in factories like this must be at least 15 years old. Regulations governing hours of work, overtime, contracts and holidays were also being systematically broken in every factory we visited. Back in England, we wanted to ask British firms why they deal with factories that exploit children and operate illegally. Manchester is the home of Britain's largest mail-order catalogue firm, GUS, Great Universal Stores. Last year, the company declared record profits of over £200 million, helped by the purchase of cheap clothing in Bangkok and the Far East. John England, Trafford, Kayes, Myers and Marshall Ward are all part of the GUS empire. GUS catalogues don't tell customers which countries their goods come from, but Paul Harris knows. He's in charge of GUS buying. He declined to appear on this programme. He said that GUS is not aware of conditions inside the Bangkok factories, yet we have proof that their buyers regularly visit them. In Bangkok, we talked with a man who, until recently, worked as a buying agent for GUS and other British firms in the Far East. It was Michael Parkinson's job to accompany buyers to the factories and help them negotiate orders.
These buyers have had every opportunity to have a look round the factories and see the conditions within the factories.
Have they seen children in these factories?
It would have been unavoidable for them not to see the children. In every factory that I've been in, there have been children working.
And these are factories you've been in with British buyers?
Yes, they are, yes.
Have you seen child labour elsewhere in the Far East?
I've seen child labour in the Philippines and Indonesia, but I have never seen it to the extent that I've seen it in Thailand.
We then asked Michael Parkinson why British buyers turn a blind eye to this exploitation of children.
Their concern is to make profits for their company back in the UK.
So what are they interested in when they come out here?
Price.
And do they care what goes on in the factories?
Not to any extent that it would influence them if the price was correct for the garment they wish to buy.
Evening falls at the Dynasty Knitting Factory in downtown Bangkok. Some 300 girls are inside making skirts, blouses and other cheap cotton goods. The managing director, Mr. Sandej, told us that Great Universal Stores are among his best customers. Last year, he shipped more than 5,000 jumpsuits like this to Britain. Factory price in Bangkok, £4.65. Retail price, £15.99.
So British buyers have come out here and toured your factories, have they, in the past?
Yeah, yes.
Have they seen your sewing machines? Have they seen your operation? They know how you do things. Have they made any comments about your factory? Have they said they think it's a good factory, or...?
They're satisfied. They don't say anything.
They don't say anything?
They're smiling and they're happy.
Mr. Sandej also has a lot to smile about. He told us his workers sleep inside the factory and that most of them have to buy their own food, except for boiled rice. But some of what he told us seemed a little too much to be believed.
What age is your workforce here?
Start from 17 and up.
So all the girls in your factory are 17 years or older, is that right?
Have to be 17 years and up.
What about younger girls? Can you employ younger girls or not?
No. But sometimes they follow the system.
I see.
They have nothing to do at home. They follow the system.
How old would they be?
13, 14, 15, you only few.
Can they do the work?
Cannot.
They cannot do the work?
They come only eat and sleep.
You give them rice, or do they? You also provide them with meals?
Meals, yes, well.
And accommodation? You have accommodation here in the factory where they can sleep?
On the fourth floor, that side.
It sounds to me like you're running a social welfare agency rather than a factory. If you have to provide food and accommodation for the younger sisters of your workers.
Only for training girl. Only for 50 or 60 or 70 people.
We also asked him how much the skilled girls earn.
$250 up to $600.
$600. Now $600 is £400. Do you know, Mr. Sandej?
Tax-free.
Tax-free?
Yeah, do not pay tax.
My goodness. Do you realize that's more than seamstresses earn in England? What's the secret of your success?
I don't know. Working hard.
Lunchtime at the food stall right outside the factory gates. A few of the girls have been allowed out, and they're talking to Pai Zhong, the girl standing on the left in the blue jacket. Like Suni, she's working with us and carrying a hidden microphone. Pai Zhong is an experienced clothing factory worker herself. She asked the girls what they reckon they were paid.
We've been told they get paid 5,000 baht a month and more. Isn't that true? How about the boss? What did they say about the factory owner? And when does he do that?
Bangkok Peninsula Hotel. It's in hotels like this that British buyers stay. Such surroundings have proved a compelling reason to do business in Bangkok. For comfort and elegance like this, British businessmen pay £140 a day. A small beer costs £1.60, the wage a girl can earn working all night in a clothing factory. But does buying in Thailand mean cheaper goods for British shoppers? In Liverpool is the headquarters of the Littlewoods organisation. Littlewoods is highly publicity conscious, serious about its reputation as a decent, upstanding firm offering good value to shoppers. But do customers really benefit from the savings Littlewoods make?
The price in the catalogue will reflect an increase of 320 to 330% of the price paid to the manufacturer in Thailand.
How would these garments be priced?
Well, this garment, for example, a buyer would expect to pay around about $30 a dozen for this, which would be £1.65 per piece. Now, adding in various agents' commissions, shipping costs, various costs that go into this, he would have it in his warehouse for £2.20 in the UK.
That sweater is now on sale in Littlewoods. The Bangkok factory price, remember, £1.65. The retail price, £4.99, 3 times greater. We found much larger markups on clothing imported by GUS and other British firms, all of which means bad news for British shoppers. It also carries little comfort for Bangkok factory girls. This is the Thai Thon factory where the Littlewood sweaters are made, as well as clothing for Woolworths and C&A. The manager, Mr. Sakchai, thinks it's important to feed his girls.
And do you provide food for them?
Yeah, for rice only.
You give them rice only?
Yeah.
And they then have to buy the rest of the food?
Yeah.
What about on Sundays?
On Sunday is holiday.
So they buy their own rice on Sundays?
Yeah.
Mr. Sakchai also told us that his girls normally work from 8 in the morning until 11 at night, 15 hours a day.
8 o'clock until 11 o'clock, and after that he go to sleep and wake up in the morning, 8 o'clock, and then start the work.
And start working again?
Yeah. Only on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday we have to load the food. So we work 8 o'clock until 11 o'clock and go to sleep for 2 hours or 3 hours and then come to work again.
I see. So they'll sleep for a couple of hours in the night and then come back to work again?
Yeah.
Fine.
On the roof, Mr. Sakchai has built 7 rough barrack rooms for his 250 girls. There they must sleep, dress and keep all their belongings. There are no beds, no tables, no chairs. During our visit, Mr. Sakchai was eager to be seen as fair-minded. He told us that his girls are free to go to the movies on Sundays and that all of them are at least 16 years old. Lunchtime in the lane outside the factory. Paijong is here again to ask the girls how they describe the life inside. They told her that many of the girls are 14 years old and under. Soon, by the gate, a man appeared. He kept watching Paijong and the girls. We recognized him as the factory guard.
There was a guard there. What was he doing?
คือว่าใครเข้าไปใกล้ใครไปถามอะไรซอกแซกเนี่ยเขาจะไล่แบบเข้าไปแบบไล่เด็กเข้าไปอะไรอย่างเงี้ยไม่ให้ออกมาตอบคำถามใครหรืออะไรถ้าญาติมาหาเขาจะเป็นคนขวางว่าไม่ให้มาหา
But certainly the girls in that factory get the opportunity to go to the movies on Sunday.
สำหรับเด็กนะฮะไม่มีโอกาสเลยถ้าแบบว่านอกจากว่าออกไปซื้อกับข้าวมาทานข้าว
Are those girls staying in that factory against their will?
ขัดมากแต่ว่าเขาก็ไม่รู้ทำไงคือว่าถ้าขัดแล้วนะแล้วเราแข็งกับเขาเนี่ยแข็งกับเขาปั๊บเราไม่ยอมอะไรเงี้ยปุ๊บเขาไล่ออกทันที
The allegation that underage girls are kept locked up in guarded factories against their will is not only in breach of Thai labor laws, it's also a violation of the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. To double-check, we decided to return a few days later with Suni and ask her to talk to the girls outside Thai Thon. Suni is on the right wearing a light blue shirt.
There's many little girls in the factory who is about 12 years old to 14 years old. They can't go out. Nobody can't go out because there's a guard man control the girls. Nobody can go out. I think it's look like the prison.
I'm sorry?
Like the prison.
You think it's like a prison?
Yes, for the girls.
It's factories such as Taithon which today are filling orders for British stores. Littlewoods declined to take part in this program, but they did tell us they only deal with factories that have been personally vetted by their buyers, and they'd look into our allegations. GUS tell us that because of our investigations, they are now stopping all shipments from Bangkok until they've checked that the factories are operating legally.
Why do you think the British buyers continue to come out here and buy clothes from factories which they know are breaking the law, they know are employing children, and they know are paying miserable wages?
The buyers are under pressure to make profits. To come out here and to buy at the correct price, they can achieve the profits they wish to make.
And they don't think about anything else.
They think about their kids at home, they don't think about the kids in Thailand.
At a Bangkok shrine, young girls come to pray for a good marriage and a happy life. But many thousands of Thai children are ill-used, exploited, treated almost like slaves. For them, the goddess seems not to hear.